the toys himself?
Why does Santa use reindeer to pull his sleigh?
Can't Santa come to my house every night?
Has Santa been here forever?
Of course, there was a time when there was no Santa Claus. That was a long time ago, before your great-grandparents were born. I remember that time as though it were yesterday. The story of Santa Claus began in the crystal forest of Burzee, a magical place at the top of the world, the source of the northern lights, and the home of nature's caretakers, the immortals. We immortals care for things that human beings take for granted. My job, for example, is to protect the world's trees. My people call me Master Woodsman. But it was another immortal who first met Santa Claus when he was just a little baby. Her name was Necile, and she was a wood elf in charge of rose briars, I think, and she tended towards getting into mischief. Necile had a habit of wandering to the very edges of Burzee, far too close to the world of men, and one day she found something small and wrapped in cloth, and it was moving.
A baby? At least I think that's what the mortals called their little ones. Yes, you're a baby, all right. Lucille?
Lucille? Oh, Tanglethorns, where is that elf off to now? Oh, there you are, my dear. I must speak to you. Now, I heard that... Lucille, dear, what is that?
It's a baby.
A human baby? From the mortal world?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, dear, Lucille, we must put it back where you found it.
But if we do that, the child will die. Its parents are nowhere to be seen. Let's take it back to Burzee with us, my queen.
No, Lucille, we cannot have a mortal in Burzee. It's unheard of. It's against all our rules.
Why?
Don't you see? This little one is mortal. He will grow up, he will grow old, and will someday die. We immortals cannot allow ourselves to become involved in the brief lives of mortal men. Now, go home, Necile. I will put him back.
Oh, but Queen Zerline...
Go home, Necile.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't look at me like that. There's nothing I can do. It's not up to me. Oh, don't do that. Oh, don't cry. Where did you come from? My little man who left you here alone in the wild. Is this a part of some greater plan? What should I do with this homeless child? Look at that face, smiling so sweetly, holding my hand, trusting completely. Wish I could keep you, but that just can't be. Best leave you here. But if I leave you, surely you'll die. You can't survive alone in the wild. How could I go on knowing that I cost you your life, poor homeless child? How well I know someday you'll leave me when you're a man, and it will grieve me. Nothing's forever, that's how it must be. I'll watch you grow, I'll watch you go. I love you so, take you home.
Queen Zerline?
Oh, yes, Lucille?
Are you all right, my queen?
Yes, of course. I was just thinking. It occurred to me, the decision about this child isn't really up to me. The Master Woodsman made the rules about mortals in Burzee. It's up to him to decide if the rules are to be changed.
But the Master Woodsman is away inspecting all the forests. He may be gone for years.
I know. Sometimes he's away for 30 years at a time.
What will you name him?
I will name him Claus. It means little one.
Yes. Come, little Claus. Oh, Zerline, this little one will be such fun to play with.
If he can keep you out of trouble, Lucille, I'm sure it will all be worth the effort.
And so, while I was away examining baobabs in Borneo, Claus became the first human being to spend his childhood in the forest of Burzee. And since this was the first opportunity the immortals had to see a human up close, Necile found her bower full of visitors from morning till night. As Claus grew, Zerline and the fairy folk taught him to speak and to walk and to play games. Because Claus had become dear to the immortals, they taught him those laws of nature that we hold dear. The Rills, who paint all the world's flowers each spring, taught Claus to respect all plant life and to replace any vegetable that he might take for food. The Knooks, who care for all the world's wild animals, urged Claus to study the ways of the beasts of the field, stream, and sky to better understand our own ways. Claus grew up strong and healthy. He knew the songs of the bees and could recite the poetry of the flowers, and Burzee rang with the sound of his laughter. I returned to the forest of Burzee in Claus's 18th year and summoned him to come speak with me.
Did you wish to speak with me, sir?
Come closer, Claus. Don't be afraid. My people tell me you are very well thought of here in Burzee.
No one could hope for a better place to grow up, sir.
And grow you have, young man. And that is the difference between us. In all their teachings, have my people ever told you how you are different from the rest of us in Burzee?
There are many differences in each and every one of us, sir. Queen Zerline says that's what keeps things interesting.
To be sure, Claus, we in Burzee do not grow. We do not age. We never change. The way you see me today is exactly the way I will look in 100 years. And it is the way I've looked since the world began. But you, Claus, you will change. Because you are a human being. And like all human beings, you will grow. You will age. And someday, my boy, you will die.
I knew such things happened to birds and to flowers, but I never thought that... Master Woodsman, if such a thing as death comes to all my kind, why are we given life at all?
A good question, Claus. In my observations of human beings, I can only guess that it is each man's purpose to leave the world a better place than he found it. You must find your purpose, Claus. Of all mortal men, you are the only one who bears the knowledge of the immortals of Burzee. Use that knowledge and all your talents to make the world of mankind a better place while you live.
I will, sir, and thank you for pointing my way. Please excuse me. I wish to bid my friends farewell.
Claus, you are a good boy. You will make a fine man. And if you ever need my assistance or the help of my people, you need only ask.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
You're welcome, Claus. And good luck. Claus set out for the world of men with the same enthusiasm he had whenever there were new things to learn. In every town and village he visited, the people were charmed by his hearty laugh, his eagerness to learn about their local customs, and his generous nature. By and by, Claus came to a small village where he met someone who would change his life, a little boy named Weekum.
Hello, young fellow. Why so sad on so beautiful a day?
I'm not sad, but I'm sure bored. I wish I was older.
Older? Why, whatever for?
'Cause all the other kids get to help around the farm and round the house, and they say I can't do nothing yet till I'm older.
My goodness. Well, what do you do with all that spare time? I didn't catch your name.
My name's Weekum. What's your name?
Claus.
I thought I had a funny name. Gee, I'm bored.
Well, why don't you play a game?
What's that?
You mean you've never played a game before?
I don't even know what that is.
Well, I'll teach you. Weekum, do you have any friends that might like to learn to play?
Just Mary. She's too little, too.
That's all right. You go get her. When I was little, my friends taught me a great many games. So now, I will teach some to you. Let's all play a game. That's the way we learn to grow together. Hide and seek is its name. Every boy and girl deserve fun. Close your eyes so you can't see. Count out loud.
1, 2, 3.
Mary, hide behind that tree. Now seek.
She can't hide from me. I can't find her. Where is she?
Shout, Ollie, Ollie, Oxenfree. Now Mary's it. Your turn to flee. Cooperation is the key. We should all play games. That's the way we learn to work together. Understanding is the aim. Learning why we play and have fun. There'll be time to guide a plow. Time for sweat upon your brow. Here's the time to learn somehow. Life is good, enjoy it now. Let's all play a game. That's the way we learn to love each other. Let's all play a game. Every boy and girl deserve fun.
Every boy and girl deserve fun. Every girl and boy deserve fun.
You must understand that in those days, children received very little attention from their parents. They were generally neglected and were put to work in the fields or at household chores as soon as they were old enough. And so, at first, the parents were scornful towards Claus, thinking him to be a fool with nothing better to do. And yet, they were content that their children had found a patient playfellow who was willing to amuse them. And so, Claus became the world's first teacher. The boys rode on his shoulders, the girls wove daisy chains for his hair, and babies clung fondly to his knees. And in the evenings, while the children were at their suppers, Claus began to build his house near a brook in a place called Laughing Valley. After a time, winter drew near. The snow piled up against Claus's door, and so it was impossible to visit his little friends. And so, to pass the time on cold winter evenings, Claus began to carve little wooden figures for his own amusement.
What a good portrait. This looks just like my cat Blinky. Could that be someone up on my roof?
Hello, Claus. It's me, Rosito.
Little Red Rill! Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, but really, you gave me a fright coming down the chimney like that. That's no way to enter someone's house.
Oh, it's fun, Claus. You should try it sometime. Hey, what happened to Blinky? Did you leave her out in the snow? She's frozen stiff.
Oh, that's just a little thing I made to pass the time.
Not bad at all. Of course, it still looks like wood. Now, if you added some color to it, it would look real. No one could tell the difference.
Maybe the children wouldn't know the difference. Excuse me, little friend. It's getting late and I'm a little sleepy.
Oh, don't worry about me, Claus. You go on to bed. I'll just help myself to some milk and cookies, and I'll be on my way.
All right, my friend. You know how to let yourself out?
The same way I came in, but backwards.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Hey, aquí. Vámonos, muchachos. Hello, Hansa.
What'd you call us here for?
Come over here. Look what?
What's happening?
Look at what Claus has made. Over where?
Look at that.
Over here, look. Oh, there. See? That needs some color.
It sure does.
It needs to be painted red. Claus's cat isn't red. It's yellow. With a little spot of yellow, I'll paint the cat. It'll make the body glow and not seem so flat. My paint goes on as smooth as melted butter fat. And now this piece of wood looks like a pussy cat. Nah. Without some color we just fade away. There's nothing duller than just white and gray. The world can glisten like a rainbow spray. A splash of color makes a brighter day. Now it's my turn. With my brushes red as roses, I'll paint the nose. What color is the bow? It's red, do you suppose?
No, Blinky's bow is blue in hues of indigo, and now it's nearly finished from its head to toes.
Nah. Without some color we just fade away. There's nothing duller than just white and gray. The world can glisten like a rainbow spray. A splash of color makes a brighter day. Let's do the details together.
Orange is the color that we intend to make when red and yellow agree to blend.
Now green's the final color that we'll create when blue and yellow can cooperate. If colors of the world can harmonize, the people of the world should realize it's good we're different, because otherwise we'd never see each day as a loser prize. Without some color we just fade away. There's nothing duller than just white and gray. The world it glistens like a rainbow spray. A splash of color makes a brighter day. 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 A splash of color makes a brighter day.
Claus, wake up.
I'm coming. My goodness. Who could be coming to call in a storm like this? Oh, Lucille, what are you doing here?
I found this little child in the snow.
Oh, poor little Weekum.
I knew he must be a friend of yours, so I brought him here.
Thank you for finding him, Lucille.
I'm always happy to help you, Claus.
It's always good to see you too, Lucille.
I must get back, Claus. Queen Zerline is expecting me. I hope little Weekum will be all right.
I'll take good care of him. Goodbye, Lucille.
Bye, Claus.
Now. It's all right. You're safe now. Shh. Now, don't cry. You must be careful not to wander too far away from home, Weekum. Now, you sit quietly, and I'll warm up some milk, and then I'll bundle you up and take you home. All right?
Can I play with your tat? Claus, where's your tat?
Blinky is sleeping now, Weekum. But maybe you'd like to hold this cat. Well, I'll be. It does look better this way.
Oh, Toss, that's a beautiful tat. It's so nice. And it won't scratch or run away.
Would you like to keep that little cat?
Oh, Claus, may I? Thank you, Claus.
That was how Claus made the first toy in all the world. When he saw how much happiness Weekum found in that simple wooden cat, he realized he had finally found what he had been born to do. So Claus began his great work. At first, he made only cats. But soon, Claus's cottage was filled with wooden squirrels and rabbits and lambs. When spring came, Claus carried his gifts to children in every town and village that he knew, until even children from faraway lands heard of him and would journey many miles to find the toy maker's cottage. The more Claus talked to the children and listened to their ideas, the better his toys became. Pleased by his success, the immortals often visited Claus to bring him supplies or offer suggestions. Queen Zerline advised Claus to make whistles in the shapes of birds. And one of the Knooks had the idea of putting a squeak inside the lambs so that they would say, "Bah!" when children squeezed them. The toys grew more clever and beautiful each year. But when winter came and the snow piled up against his door, Claus was forced to stay indoors and unable to visit his little friends.
Oh, these winters seem longer every year. It's lonely without the children.
Hello, Claus.
Oh, hello, Glossy. I'm glad of your company. I wasn't expecting anyone until spring with the snow so deep.
We deer are never troubled by the snow, Claus. We can walk on it as easily as the birds can walk on the clouds.
I envy you. Yesterday, I tried to walk out back and sunk up to my beard in the snow. If only I were so lucky to be as sure of foot, I would be carrying my sack of toys to the children this moment. Glossy, perhaps you could carry me to see my friends.
Now, Claus, my back isn't strong enough to bear your weight, no offense. But if you had a sled and if you had some sort of harness to steer the way, the other deer and I could pull you and your sack of toys as well.
What a wonderful idea. I'll build a sleigh immediately.
Well, before I agree, I must ask Will Nook, who is our guardian, for permission. And if he consents, my friends and I would be delighted to help you.
I have known the Knooks since my youth, and although they can be a bit grumpy at times, I'm sure they will agree to this idea. Go at once and find Will Nook. Tell him his old friend Claus wishes to speak with him. And soon we'll have some merry travels together.
Oh, this is so exciting. I'll get him at once.
I shall make a harness with silver bells for each of the deer, and as we travel through the snow, each bell will play a merry tune. And I will make the sleigh with little wheels inside the runners, so it can travel on those patches of earth where the snow has melted. Perhaps I could visit the children every month, or once a week. Oh, that's no good. Oh, I could never make the toys fast enough to give them away every week.
How about once a year?
My, good news travels swiftly.
As swift as the dreams of fools, Claus. I've heard of your plan to turn my deer into mules to carry you and your silly gizmos to the villages of men, and I don't like the idea at all.
But the deer want to help. Why won't you let them?
I know they want to help, but it is I who care for them like a parent cares for a child. Does a good parent let his children do anything they want to do? Of course not. It doesn't matter if they want to. I don't want them to.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Don't take offense. Well, I was under the impression you'd be happy to see the deer taken care of for you.
Let me clear up your misconception. These deer are under my protection. They are free to run in the wild, not to be harnessed like a wayward child. Oh, no! No way.
The deer offered to help. It was under the condition that whatever we did, it would be with your permission. Please let me make this perfectly clear. I do not intend to harm any deer. Say yes.
Deer are too graceful for pulling a sled. Beautiful things shouldn't work till they're dead. Give me more reasons why I should relent. I must be convinced before I consent.
When it comes
Striking
to
a bargain of this sort will waste my time, you wretched mortal. Save your breath, don't take all day, because in the end I'll have it my way. How do you propose to take care of my dear mortal?
I'll build them a stable so they'll never get cold. I'll feed them greens and veggies so they'll never grow old. I'll bathe them in oil so their coats will stay sleek. I'll scrape their hooves clean at least 2 times a week. I'll wear them all blankets to keep up the chill. I'll make sure they're healthy and they never get ill. I'll love them and groom them and call them by name.
All right, that's enough. I grow tired of this game. I agree.
You agree?
I agree, but I don't doubt that's your good intention. But add these conditions to those you mentioned. From now on, I dub them reindeer. Use them on Christmas 1 night a year. That clear?
That's clear. Thank you, Will. Now I have the deer's help. And my work is just beginning. I have so much to do. Oh, my head is really spinning. Making the harness, building the sleigh. And Christmas is only 5 days away. Oh, no!
Of course, no one man could make so many preparations in just 5 short days without help. But Claus had help. When the people of Burzee heard about Will Nook's trick, they came to Claus's aid in meeting the impossible deadline. With paint and brushes of blur, the Rills finished Claus's toys in 2 days. Some of the other Nooks employed their skills in leathercraft to finish the world's first and only reindeer harness. And I brought the strongest, lightest wood from fallen trees around the globe and helped Claus build that very same sleigh that he uses today. That Christmas Eve, Will Nook could only scowl because Claus made his first delivery that night. With the help of the reindeer, Claus could travel faster and further than ever before, and with each passing year, he ventured into new towns and villages until his name was known and beloved throughout the world. And yet, even Claus had enemies. In those days, there was a race of shadowy creatures who called themselves the Boogeymen. They were like nightmares, and it was their greatest joy to influence children to do terrible things, like fighting with their little brothers and sisters, or hiding their spinach in their pockets when they were supposed to clean their plate. Of course, I don't know what makes children misbehave nowadays, but back then it was the Boogeymen. And the queen of the Boogeymen, Phobia, did not like Claus one bit, and so one night she called together all the Boogeymen to start a campaign against our Claus.
Made me get out of an ice cold. Oh, I like an ice cold.
Silence! Thieves, weapons, boogeymen, lend me your ears.
What? I don't understand. I need both.
I mean, pay attention.
Oh.
Our race is in deep voodoo. Things are not the way they used to be. Take a look at this chart. Because of our efforts in the past, children have been 90% naughty and were hardly ever nice. But since the arrival of Claus and his toys, nice is up and growing steadily. One more quarter like that, and you'll be looking for work as gargoyles. In other words, we're losing. I hate losing. So here's what we're going to do about it. First, we get rid of the toy.
How do we do that?
Good question. You make yourself invisible. You fly to Claus's house and you steal them.
Oh.
So it's up to you now. Get out there and show me what kind of boogeyman you are. Use every nasty trick in the book to make things miserable for this Claus guy every single day. Now, what are you going to do?
We're gonna scare them.
You're going to do what?
Scare them.
Then go do it.
Okay, fellas. Now we know what we have to do. Trying hard to put a scare in you. You'll be up all night, 'cause we do wrong right. And that's what boogeymen
We'll make you cry, we'll make you pout, we'll make you lie, we'll make you shout.
And that's what boogeymen do.
Boy, I feel god awful.
Yeah, isn't it great? Nobody does a guilt trip like Phobia.
This is wonderful.
You mean horrible.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
This musical toy box needs some kind of surprise. Well, that was a surprise. I don't think the wind has ever blown my door open before. Well, let's see. What should I work on this evening? I think I'll finish that spinning toy on the top shelf. Maybe I put it on the other shelf by mistake. Wait a minute. Something strange is going on. Oh, I hope I don't misplace what's in this box. It's very valuable, and I'll be very upset if I should lose it. Oh, now I've got you. Oh, you invisible toy stealer. I won't let you out until you tell me why you're here to bother me.
Wait!
You won't tear a peep from me. Ow! Ouch! Stop it! I'll talk. I'll tell you everything I know. Just don't turn that handle again.
All right. Why are you trying to steal my toys?
Because Phobia told us to make things harm you, and I thought that stealing your toys would make you really unhappy.
Who is Phobia?
Forget it. I won't tell. Ow! Okay, cut it out. Phobia is the boogeyman, and she's mad at you, because she thinks you're some really nice guy, but if she were in this box right now, she'd change her mind, I bet.
What's your name?
It's none of your business. But wait, it's Jack. And please don't turn that crank.
Well, Jack, I'm going to let you out in a minute, but I want you to tell your queen that I have no quarrel with her, and that if she will leave me alone to do my work, I promise to stay out of her way. Do you understand?
Yes. May I come out of this box now?
By all means.
That wasn't very smart, old man, to put Jack in a box. I'm going to tell Phobia, and you're going to lose a lot more than your dumb old toys.
Jack in the box. Oh, now there's an idea.
Oh, Master Woodsman, we must help Claus.
Nassil, please. I just spoke with Queen Zerline about this. The boogeymen are not our problem.
But the toys, they're stealing his toys. And he can't even see them doing it. We must help him.
I'll tell you what I've already told Zerline. Claus is not a child. He's a grown man and must be responsible for himself.
Claus is already responsible for the happiness of all the children in the world. Isn't that enough?
All mortal men have troubles, Nassil. They must learn to bear their burden alone. Claus has always depended upon us. When does our responsibility end?
When a seed you have planted becomes a sapling and then grows into a mighty tree, does your responsibility end? Or do you care for it forever? Besides, if you will not help Claus, I will speak to the Boogeyman Queen myself.
Nassil, wait. I have always approved of the good work Claus has done for the children of men. But now I see his magic has changed you too. I will speak to Phobia.
Oh, thank you, Master Woodsman. Thank you.
Phobia, Queen of the Boogeymen, up here. I seek an audience with you.
Who dares summon me?
It is I, Master Woodsman of the World, King of the Immortals. I speak on behalf of the human being called Claus.
He is a mortal woodsman. He is not a tree. Do you tend the human forest now, too? Keep to your own interests. We will do with Claus as we please.
You will not. This man is under the protection of the Immortals. I will not allow your people to interfere with his good work or harm him in any way. I demand that you leave Claus alone.
Demand? Who are you to demand anything? We owe no allegiance to you or any immortal. I defy your demand.
I am not a child, Phobia. You do not frighten me.
But I will. Suppose I kill this Claus. How can you stop me? How could you punish me with all your power, Master Woodsman of the World? Can you use that axe of yours to strike me down?
You know we immortals are sworn to never take a life.
but I can. And I will. You're dismissed.
We immortals have always avoided contact with these wicked creatures, and now things were much worse. I was forced, by the very rule my people hold most sacred, to stand by, rooted to the spot. Powerless to help Claus, he would have to face this challenge alone. And so, disguised as a little girl, Phobia made her way to the Laughing Valley to work her evil magic on the unsuspecting Claus.
Mr. Claus, can I have a toy?
I'm sorry. I have no toys. They've all been stolen.
Then make some more.
I've tried. But as soon as I finish, they just disappear. I'm sorry I can't help you. You look like you need a toy.
Oh, no more toys? How mean to disappoint a little child.
You're no child. Phobia.
What? How could you know?
You could never be a child. You don't have any love in you.
Before you came along, people just took what they wanted. No one had a share. The night was our domain. There was fear. There was madness. There was chaos. It was beautiful. Then you showed up with your toys and changed the world.
It is true. The world is not the same. But it wasn't my toys that changed it. It was the children. They've learned to cooperate. They've learned to share. They've learned to love. I just taught them to play.
Yes, to play with toys. Well, the children will never see another toy again.
You don't understand, do you? It's not the toys at all. By giving a child a toy, you are teaching them the joy of giving. You're too late, Phobia. Your people can destroy all the toys you want, but the world you ruled is already gone. The children have learned to give and to care, and as long as there are children, the world will be filled with love and laughter.
Stop it! I can't exist in a world like that.
I know.
Stop that!
I can't help myself.
Don't you know that laughter is poison to my people? With every child's laugh, a boogeyman dies.
Then you came to the wrong place, Phobia. I have built my home in the Laughing Valley, where every laugh of every child throughout the world echoes forever. All you have to do is listen.
Stop it! Stop that laughing! All right, Claus, you finished. I'll have the satisfaction of knowing you'll never see another Christmas.
What have you done to me?
I have stung you with despair, Claus. Now you know that you are old, and when you die, the children will forget you. In time, the world will be a bitter place again, and I'll return. And may all your Christmases be spite.
Oh, my poor Claus! Don't leave me! I'd be lost without you.
Nasil. Come with me, Nasil. Claus's time in this world is done.
No! It's not fair! For all the good he's done, Claus deserves to live forever, just as we do.
It's impossible.
For immortals, any Nothing is possible. Please, Master Woodsman, there must be a way.
It would require a sacrifice from you.
Anything. What must I do?
You may share your immortality with Claus, but it will change you forever. You shall become as he is now. You'll be old of face, and the path to Burzee shall be forever barred.
I understand. I will take the consequences, for I love this man. And if he is not in this world, I no longer wish to live forever. How do I share my immortality, Master Woodsman?
Take my axe and tell it your wish. Its magic will cleave your magic in two, and you will give Claus the power to live forever. Goodbye, my child. My heart remains here with you both, and I wish you great happiness together.
I wish to share my life with Claus. How odd to feel my feet on the floor.
Who is there? Who's that speaking?
It's only me, your old friend Necile.
Necile? Oh, what has happened here? Why are you so changed?
Is it very bad? Have I become very ugly?
Oh, no, Necile. You are as lovely as ever. And your visit has made me feel better than I've felt in many years.
And a great many years you will have ahead of you, my dear one. I have given you half of my immortality so that you can continue to make children happy forevermore.
Oh, Necile, what a sacrifice you have made.
It's a small price to pay if it will keep Santa Claus in the world.
Santa Claus?
Didn't you know? The news of your good work has spread around the world, and in many countries they think of you as a saint. And that is how the children have come to call you Santa Claus. Now, I must go, my Claus, and find some place to live. The forest of Burzee is closed to me now.
Necile, wait. Don't go. Stay here with me. You have always been my dearest friend. And since I live forever now, I'd like to spend that time with you. Will you marry me,
Claus?
Oh.
And that is how Necile became Mrs. Claus, and the two of them still live in the Laughing Valley to this day, happily ever after. And so it is that to this very day, Santa Claus continues to make children of the world happy and make the earth a more beautiful place. For there is nothing in the world as beautiful as a happy child.